Hey everyone, I'm Airier, and this is a reaction, and not even a reaction, it's the absurd bullshit that just happened recently. This is about the leak that just came out about Destiny 2 on Amazon. There was that little thing where they had the Mega Block set that said, hey, we have the ship that you already knew about, you have the Cabal tank you already knew about, and you have this one little thing where you have Shax using a raise lighter in the tower hangar against a Cabal Red Guard that nobody knew about. And that's been covered quite a bit over the last few days because it is absolutely insanely bullshit. But what's more important isn't just that we now have an idea that there is going to be a mission where we get to fight with Shax in the freaking tower. And it's going to be awesome because it's Shax with a sword in the tower against the Cabal who are invading. And holy fucking shit, this is awesome. But more importantly, and this is the thing I've seen everyone missing so far, is what this implies. Now, we've all heard rumors now that Destiny 2 is going to be a fresh start. Ooh, boobies. It's going to have a very big split from the standard game. We knew about that. What we didn't know is how they were going to achieve it. This does seem to imply that the way they're going about it is by destroying the tower, which would then remove all of our items, all of the equipment we've had that we just, haven't used or have been using religiously. Thorn. Or in my case, the 1,000-yard stare from year 2, which is just a god roll on it. I love that thing. I'm going to be upset to miss it. But this is how a lot of people now believe we're going to be going into the next game, Destiny 2. Later this year, even later in 2017. The exact date has been released, and we're hoping later this month in February, when they go through the actual holders meeting, the stockholders meeting for Activision, they'll give more information because, they want to know what they're putting their money into. So we might find out more because those are open records, unless they seal them, which would be kind of a dick move. I doubt they'll do that. What this does say, though, more than anything else, is one very important thing that has a lot of relevance to the massive issue Bungie always has with this game. They fuck up the story so very often, and they just make it kind of repetitive. And it's a Bungie thing to go into Destiny, and you're going to have a mission, and you're going to have another variation of the mission, and then you're going to have a new skin on the mission, and then we'll have you run it 1,000 times over the course of the year to get new things to farm. I'm thinking about the sword missions where we're just farming the patrols, and Bungie reuses and then overuses, and then just keeps using something over and over again to try and get more life out of it, because they have droughts between the updates. In year 1, they had a drought that was the first Vanilla Destiny. Vanilla Destiny started as a drought. It had things to do, but there was not that much, and it wasn't a good story. What this update, not even the update, but what this leak, this massive leak on Amazon, and I say massive because of the implications of it, it shows that Bungie has learned from their mistakes because they are throwing away the old playbook. And they are doing something in such a way that it's not just, oh, the tower was destroyed, but you're going to see the tower firsthand, because if you're going to have a Mega Block set of it, that means it's something we're going to see often. Now, we might have to replay the mission 12 times through because it's Bungie, and fuck it, we'll do it. The same way we'd play through Paradox 1,000 times in year 2, or, oddly enough, anything to do with the Vex Spire in year 3. It just seems to come up all the time. Like every time I log in, oh, Vex Spire is the one today. Either that or the Taken version, which is another variation of a reskin on it. But more importantly, this is Bungie moving beyond the safe, easy, established areas. They're not just adding a new section and saying it's Destiny 2. They're breaking everything they already had, and they're moving on. Because if you attack the tower, it's going to be destroyed. Now, they could do it's going to be like when the Fallen invaded the tower in Rise of Iron. Yeah, I'm guessing you already forgot about that. That happened, and it was actually one of the better missions because it was fun. On your own, it's kind of bullshit, but with a party, even on your own, it wasn't that hard. But yeah, the Fallen attacked the tower when you were going for the Galahorn. That happened. No damage. Nothing happened. Yeah. But it's also indicating that it can happen, because that's the only time you've ever seen the tower really ever get attacked. It's like you are told that this is a big threat. You don't actually see it as a threat because you spend the entire game tearing through enemies and being a badass. with a really plucky sidekick who actually gets to speak because your character doesn't. In Destiny 2, though, if they're attacking the tower with a massive force, and by all indications and leaks, the Cabal are going to be the bad guy in the way that the Fallen, and to an extent, or I guess reverse that, the Hive, and to an extent the Fallen, were the big enemies of vanilla Destiny and the 2-year expansions after that, Rise of Iron and Taken King. I'm not going to count the early expansions in year vanilla, I'm going to call all of that vanilla in year 1. Because this is what's happening, because we see that things are growing, we know that Destiny and Bungie, they're not doing the update or Destiny 2 as, hey, this is Rise of Iron, or hey, this is House of Wolves type update. They're going the Taken King whole ass story. Now, the Taken King had issues. It wasn't enough to go the entire year. The April update helped and it had issues, but they fixed them. And even though the content did have massive droughts for months, what was there was solid and fun, and the story, despite having issues, it felt like an actual story as opposed to random mumbo-jumbo. I can only say that this leak is the greatest indication that Bungie is learning from its mistakes, because it's doing something that'll be interesting, and we're going to see it, because you don't build a set for something they talk randomly about offline, which is why we don't have Nokris fan art. Actually, I think, never mind, I saw someone who did that. But much of Bungie's problem is that the story, which is amazing, is in the grimoire. It's out of the game. You don't really access it. It's kind of oblique. Some of it is actually written amazingly well, and I've gone through and I've read it, and it is fun to read. But it's just a bitch to access. This leak, though, because we know there's things happening in the game, the story will be in the game, because if you have something happening, you see it. It's kind of like in the grimoire, we found out all about, the Book of Sorrows and Oryx's backstory, and how he's actually okay with us killing him because it's part of his way. But in the story, it makes more sense because, like, you killed my son, I will murder your planet. And while that's an overreaction, he's an evil space god. So it makes sense. And it was like, oh, I can understand that. That's the story. It's simple, it's straightforward. But dear God, that is the most story we've had in Destiny. Even Rise of Iron, to an extent, it was completely rushed, and they only meant it as a layover because it would have been 2 years without any updates as opposed to the 1 year without an update. It was an issue, but they didn't fuck it up. It was too fast, but the general moods, the general ways they had it work were right. All I gotta say is, as far as this update goes, it shows that there is a level of story already being put out, and let's be honest, if this is what they're already putting out to play sets of Mega Blocks, which are like Lego knockoffs, if you didn't know that, yeah, they're knockoff Legos. They're like Legos, but you don't find them as often, and they make more specialized sets that you don't really play around with. Yeah, they're cool. I haven't got any myself, but I probably will because I will buy some in Destiny. I am an addict. I don't need help. I swear I can stop anytime I want. All the same, it does fill me with confidence that they're going to start showing things in-game, because you wouldn't send something out to be made into a toy if it's not going to be relevant into the game that everyone knows about. It's why you don't see many things from the grimoire anywhere at all, except for the most die-hard fans, people who are even more devoted to this game and addicted to the game than I am. And that, I would say it's not hard, but honestly, at this point, I can't even make that claim anymore. I play this way too much to say that. It's just a fun game. And even though it's in a drought right now, God knows I will probably be back for the next update just in mid-February when I see what they rebalance things as. And if they happen to have an April update, or if they even announce, hey, by the way, we're going to be releasing Destiny 2 earlier than we thought. It's actually going to be this year. And by that, I mean, I still expect them to say, hey, by the way, it's going to be 2018 instead. Yeah. Hope not. Really hope not. That would be fucked up. But all the same, everyone, that's my thoughts. And if you agree, yeah, give me a like right down there. I think it's over there. If you agree even more, there's a subscribe button. If you think I'm an absolute fucking asshole, well, you're right, I am, but that's not related to this. So all the same, thanks for watching, everyone, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button right down there. And if you can, the bell on the other side, because apparently they're useful now. They work together. I don't know. All the same, everyone, thanks for watching, and hey, see you in Destiny 2. Later. Oh, and before I forget, starting on February 9th, they're doing an open beta for For Honor, and I'm going to be playing the shit out of that. So if you want to jump on in, feel free to. And if it's already out, I'm going to be playing the shit out of that game once it's actually released. So again, jump on in. Later. Thanks for watching, everyone. And if you want to jump in on the fun, every morning at 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern, I hold a live stream that's open to the public. Subscribe to the channel. It's the button right down there. If you hit it, it'll give you a notification when I'm online, and I'm free to have someone jump on in, so feel free to join. I actually look forward to it. And again, thanks for watching. Later.